So today I'm going to show you guys some exercises that are both for core as well as tennis and tennis performance. Incorporating these exercises will help to improve your tennis game and make you a more balanced athlete. All right, so the first exercise we're doing here is going to be the bird dog. So the most important thing here is starting from all fours with your shoulders right over your wrists and then your knees right underneath your hips. So when you're doing this, you're going to be alternating arms and legs. So if your left arm is going out, your right leg is going straight back. You want to make sure to alternate between each rep and keep a nice and long spine throughout each rep. With your core, you want to keep your ribs in line with your hips, meaning your lower back's not too low and it's not too high, and you're going to be alternating throughout each rep. The second one we're doing here is going to be a side plank. When you go to the side plank, make sure to stack your shoulder right over your elbow, and you're going to stack your feet as well. Now you're going to take your other hand and just raise it straight up in the air. Then you're going to keep your hip upwards and make sure your low hip that's closest to the floor is pushing forwards. You're going to feel that oblique engaging there, and make sure to hold your hip up the whole time throughout each set. For the low plank reach, you're going to get into a low plank position. Again, the most important thing here is to keep your ribs in line with your hips, so your low back is not sinking down and you're not with the hips too high because you're not building a tent. So make sure your ribs are in line with your hips, and you're just going to take your feet wide for a base of stability here, and you're just going to reach forward. You can have a target to reach to or just reach to the air, and you want to keep those hips as still as possible. All right, the next one here is a suitcase carry. So you're going to grab a heavy object. If you have a kettlebell, that'll be preferred, but any heavy object will work. You're going to hold it in one arm here, or one hand, and you're going to stand as tall as you can, and you're going to walk just straight forward. You want to walk in as much of a straight line as you can. And again, you don't want to let the weight pull you to one side or the other. Make sure you're not leaning too far. You just want to stay as straight as you can and keep your core engaged the whole time, staying nice and tall with your shoulders back. The next one is going to be a single leg deadlift. Again, a dumbbell will work as well as a kettlebell. And you're going to hold that dumbbell or kettlebell the opposite leg that's working. And so you're just going to hinge your hips back here, and we're going for single leg deadlifts. This next one is going to be ice skaters. This move here is a performance move, and you're just going to jump laterally from side to side. Again, this is not so much about speed, it's just about having balance throughout the movement and pushing off from one side to the other. Okay, the next one here is knee tucks. So starting from a standing position, you're just going to bring your arms straight out in front of you, and all you're doing here is jumping up and bringing your knees as closest to your hands as you can. Again, it's not about going as fast as you can here, it's just about getting as much power with each exercise here, getting your knees all the way to your hands. The last one here is a kettlebell swing. So you're gonna start with the kettlebell to the floor in front of you, and you're gonna hinge your hips back. When you do, you're gonna hike the kettlebell back and then drive your hips forward. So you're gonna swing back and then swing forward, activating your glutes as you go forwards. And this is pretty much a hip hinge, and it's a glute activation going forwards. With the TRX, these first two, you want to set the TRX so that the bottom loop of it is starting at your mid-calf. So set the TRX to your mid-calf. For this one, you're going to put your feet inside of the low handles there. You're doing a pike position, so you're driving your knees in, bring your hips up, and then you're going to do a push-up. So just driving your hips up to the sky and then going for that push-up. The next one is a plank up-down. So this is a challenging one. You're going to put your feet inside those loops. The biggest challenge here is to keep your hips still. So go to that low plank position, and you're just going to go low plank to high plank. Again, you can just hold a low plank here or hold a high plank, and you're going to get a very similar effect. And so this one is a Paylof Press with the TRX. So going to start with your feet wide here for a base of stability. And you're just going to take the TRX from in front of you, and you're going to drive it with straight arms to your hip. And they're going to go back to the center and then go to the other hip. And again, keeping your core tight the whole time, and try to keep your arms at full length as you do this. Again, it's not for speed here, it's just for getting as much core engagement out of your obliques. The last one is a Superman. So you're going to set your TRX with that fully lengthened here, and then you're going to put your hands to the handles, and all you're doing is essentially leaning all the way forwards. It's going to be like a lengthened out plank, but you're just doing it from a standing position. If this seems too easy, you're going to walk your feet back a little bit, and then just staying nice and lengthened out with your core as engaged as possible. So thank you guys so much for watching the video today. I hope you were able to try all the exercises out and that the tips helped you get through those movements. And remember, just keep your core engaged, keep your core tight, and go out and have a good tennis performance. Keep your game strong. Let's go.